Well, I can't believe that we're already on to day 10 of 14 days of of Valentine Day cards in the Sweet Collaboration. Yesterday I made this card with using the side piece from the actual digital kit, and I created a little digital or tag on the inside using a doily and then a wax seal that actually is purchased. So I just used it with, it sticks on. And then I add a couple crystals here on the top. Well, welcome to the paper garden. This is a creative corner of Grace and Grains, and my name is Rhonda. And this was my card from yesterday, and I wanted to give you an idea of just how vibrant this page came from. It was next to this, and these two pieces came together. Wanted to give you an idea of something I made off of the paper of this before, is I made this journaling card that I made in my pre-mades, showing that this was my older paper and this is the newer paper. And I always do my journal cards on the back of an index card, so that way I can write on straight lines. So that was that paper, and this one today. Here's another piece from, this is all part of the Victorian Valentine's Day kit from Creating with Jovi. And what I loved about this kit was the vibrant colors of these reds and the sweet cherubs of in here. Another thing I did that I pulled off was another card of a journal card, was this one. And I actually used these sweet little pieces of roses. And even though this was a silhouette, just for fun, I went in and I actually created the dress using just bits and pieces all the way around. Another different way to use the journaling card and using the paper to be able to use all the paper of a digital kit. And then one I made previously this week, and when I printed this out, and even one that I just printed a few minutes ago, this paper is so velvety soft. I just absolutely love this collage. Now what I wanted to show today, going on to day 10, is this is the actual paper of this digital kit. And this is called Love is in the Air. It's a combination of these royal blues and purples. And I made this card on day 8 with this dangle and these butterflies. This is the bottom of the card, but I had cut it off. And then this woman is sitting, and actually here's the bottom of her dress. So this is her dress as she's sitting. But how I saw it as an art journaler is I took it, and to me it looked like a Bible. My actual page is called Grace and Grains, and it is weaving the love of God through your heart into a garden. And on this one, I just did a torn paper with the scripture of above all, love each other deeply, 1 Peter 4:8. And then here I also had another journaling card using part of the kit to create this. And that's what we're going to do today. So like I've said before, I mise en place, so I pull all my pieces together before I start. So here's the bottom of that dress of her, and as you can see, once you cut this her feet off, it does have a, because this one was a little bit more muted, it actually does look like a book. And this one does look more like a dress now that it has more detail, but we're going to work it into a card. So the first thing I'm going to take is my basic card. And this is something that I had just quite a few of, just a regular card stock, nothing to it. And I'm going to put this blue on top because I thought it would pull out the vibrancy of the blues in here. So I like to cut off the corners of my cards. I like a little bit of a softer effect when I work. In fact, to keep this, to remind me, because I also made the mistake the other day, is I actually did my card upside down. But that's where we get to be creative. So that'll now tell me that that's the bottom, and I won't forget. I make a lot of little tips like that to remind me of things that I'm doing, so I stay on point. This collaboration is done by Creating with Jovi. I'm part of her design team, and I have a handful of other creators with me. And that includes, I like to cut and paste with Katie. You could go over and give her a little love and say hi. And then there's my 60s life. I've actually enjoyed being in my 60s. I came about it a few years ago, and it was really nice. My son threw me a big birthday party and had my other children come in from California, so it was a nice surprise. So I like to put a little bit of brown edging or vintage photo on the edge of mine. I always like that vintage look when I work. And then we're going to create this on here. I call myself a ripper. So I'm pulling this towards me so it'll create this edge. Actually, I have to go against me. And that's how I always remember that I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. Now, oh, it's this way. It's my right hand has to pull. Two of the other collaborators that are with me are Sassy Southern North Carolina Girl, NC Girl, and that would be Jen. And then we also have Marianne's Craft Corner. And she does a lot of work with dyes, and I don't know much about die cutting, but it's really pretty to watch her work. There we go. Now I can pull that in. Now it looks back. Just taking the feet off makes it look like a book. Sorry about those pretty little shoes, but they've got to go. This is pretty appropriate that I'm making a page today, and this happens to be Sunday. Of course, I would rather be doing this than Super Bowl Sunday. When Super Bowl comes around, I'm usually the person that's in the kitchen. And I just pulled out some ribs. So those are done. So I'll eat in a few minutes. I don't care much for football, but that's okay. I know a lot of people do. I'm one of those people now to the point where I watch it for the halftime show. Because I actually don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl. My team in this area is the Cleveland Browns. And of course, we're just the big joke about changing out our quarterbacks. However, my favorite team is the Los Angeles Raiders, which were back in the 80s when it was down in Los Angeles. Okay, so I've got this part, and now I'm going to make this card that goes inside of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this as my bottom part of the card. And I'm going to show you how I did this. This actually fit perfect. So I'm going to pull out my tear ruler. This is one of my favorite pieces or tools. So see this tear as you pull it forward. See how it makes that tear on the back side? I think that's great. I think it's a nice way to get it off, get the little border off the edge. You just have to make sure you hold it down in the middle. And then on the last piece here on this side. And that should fit on there. Yep. I really appreciate you being here with me. This is now like my 10th video of doing this plan. That I have a couple other videos that I've made on my own, but the last 10 have been for this project, which I really have enjoyed doing. So I'm really thankful for Jovi for allowing me to be part of her process. And I've really taken it when someone says, here's a challenge, take my digital kits and create something. Now what I had to do, as you can see, I did border the top. Whoop, it goes this way. I bordered the top. So I had to go in there and actually pull off this one too. So let me pull off that white first, because that way I know I'm getting that paper off. And we'll go in here and we just kind of eyeball that about a 1/2 inch down. I'm going to pull off this page. And see, then that fits. Oops, looks like I got to pull this out too. This is my favorite part. It's so calming. I live a pretty calm life, but this part's calming. The only thing I'm stressed about a little bit right now is my little puppy's going in to have his teeth done in the morning, which means we had to feed him already, so that way we get him in an empty belly and go have his teeth done. But that's never easy for dog or dog parents. The drama. Dogs have to be put down to sleep so they can do it. And that would be Oliver. Oliver is my 13-year-old rescue Shih Tzu. He has a brother that almost looks like a twin. His name's Teddy. They're just the most amazing dogs. They're Shih Tzus. See, now that will fit right in here. And I actually had a peek just to make sure that I put this on the right side, because on the back, since I didn't use I put the scripture on the front in vellum. I didn't put it on this front. So what I did is I actually pre-wrote that already on the back. But I wanted to give you an idea of something for fun back here. So I'm going to take this Tim Holtz stencil and lay that there. And I have this royal blue ink. And I'm just going to kind of dabble that in there just to give it a little bit of extra color. It almost looks like someone splattered water in it. And then on the top, I think I'll just edge the top. It was a pretty color. This is a nice short video. I have a video because I'm a structured person. I do have a list of what I've been doing this past week. These have been the things that I've been trying to achieve. Clusters, belly bands, pockets, tags, vellum, stencil, and collage. I did a wax seal this week. If nothing else, you can go there for the laugh because I messed up. Journaling cards, paper clip, dangles, doilies, crystals, scripture or quote. And then also I've tied in washi tape, scalloped edge, and the only thing and a clothespin. I'll show you how to do a clothespin tomorrow. But I like doing these different things. I mostly do art journals, so it was a real challenge for me to do the cards, but I've enjoyed it so much. So now I've got this card with a Happy Valentine's Day, and that can simply go inside and create the whole thing. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today and coming in and just checking out my page. If possible, if you do like it, please like and subscribe and follow me. I also post a lot of my pictures, my day pictures of what else is going on around my gardens on my Facebook under Grace and Grains. But until then, may be rooted in love and grow in grace.